Well, friends, welcome back to the Firepit. It's good to be back. Richard Clinton here, and I'm just it's been wild, man. I'm just feels like it's been forever since I've recorded one of these, since I've sat here in front at the pit and just kind of shared my heart and what's going on in my life. And man, I think the last one I did was the end of January, and here we are mid-March already. It's unbelievable how quick time begins to go. Now, for me, every year, I don't know about you, January is one of those months that always seems to creep very slowly. You get to the new year, goes by slowly, and then once you get into February, everything just goes on rapid fire for some reason. It's kind of a weird thing. It never fails. Every year it kind of goes like that. But here we are, another conversation by the pit. Man, it's been crazy because the schedule's been wild. There's been my work schedule's got me running around quite a bit, and not all bad, but at the same time, finding the time and margin to be able to sit down and be able to have these conversations each week is tough, because I always record them. I used to I made the time on Thursday mornings to record them so that they're out and you can watch or listen to them on Fridays, and it just hasn't materialized the way I'd hoped to this year. So I've had to kind of reevaluate the schedule and make sure I make the time to make that happen in a more timely fashion. Yeah, I've had a few folks reach out. It's like, where's your videos been? Where's your podcast been? And so I'm gonna be intentional about getting them back out. And so it's fun. I love doing these. I love being able to kind of share my heart and what's going on in my life and what the Lord's been up to. And I tell you, He's been up to a lot, quite a bit lately, and which has been good. And I'm sitting here. First off, and I'll get this out of the way and just kind of mention it, as I'm sitting here this morning and thinking about today marks this kind of anniversary, if you will, of 2 weeks to flatten the curve. That's what I'll call it. When everything kind of panicked, all the toilet paper started disappearing, and the chaos kind of ensued in this country and around the globe, with this whole so-called pandemic that we've had. And it's been a wild time. It's been a wild time of things that we just have not ever seen, especially in our lifetimes. So we looked at 2020 as just such a horrible time. In the grand scheme, maybe it was a very difficult time, but I guarantee it wasn't the worst time in the history of man, for one. And at the same time, we come into this year, and as so many had put their hope in that calendar changing and getting to 2021, and oh gosh, we just got to get through this year. And we get into this year, and it seems to be going again, and we seem to be kind of sit here kind of with continued fear, continued worry, and what's going on, and what's happening in the world. And is this virus going to go away? And I'm break it to you, the virus isn't going away. And it's a real thing. And I know I said a minute ago, I said so-called pandemic. What I really attribute all this to, there's been this kind of the steady push to control thought in a lot of ways. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist by any stretch of the imagination, but when all you do is spew things that keep people in fear, you have to start questioning people's motives in that, especially when you look at the numbers and what's going on, what the reality in the grand scheme of what's really happened in this world. Doesn't make any sense. But is it real? Yes, absolutely. I've had friends that have been knocked down and beat up by this virus. I've had we know people that have been lost, that have lost loved ones because of this. And I thankfully haven't lost any immediate loved ones, but I definitely have some good friends that have been really taken out in a lot of ways, and some for long stretches of time. And it sucks. It's a sad thing to watch. But I've seen people taken out by other illnesses as well. And I look at that as not those specific situations, but it's a reality of something we have to contend with in this world, that there are illnesses. There have always been viruses. There's always been things that attack our bodies, and so we have to do the best we can to take care of ourselves, but be given the freedom to kind of choose how we kind of live in that, rather than being controlled and manipulated into doing and behaving certain ways, and then being lambasted and outcast if you don't, say for instance, wear a mask. I get tired of that. I get so frustrated with that. I'll just share this really quick, that a few weeks back, my oldest son and I went for a hike up in North Georgia at Yona Mountain, and beautiful hike, loved it. Great day up there, and we were it was a little chilly, but I remember just not necessarily on the way up on the way up was great. And there's people on the trails that are wearing masks. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But something kind of stuck out to me that really aggravated me, and I've seen this a few times since then. On the way back down, there's more people coming up as the day warms up. More people start arriving on the trails, and it starts getting a little crowded. So thankful we went early. But you'd see the people that are walking up, and as soon as they get within a few feet of you, that mask goes up over their face, and then they pass you, and that mask comes back down again. And it's like it feels like almost like this this leper colony kind of feeling. And I remember, if you ever watched the show The Chosen that Dallas Jenkins has been producing, and a fabulous show. I've talked about that before in some past videos, but there's that scene where they're walking and the leper comes up, and you see all of Jesus' chosen. You see Andrew and John and all of those. They're like, oh my gosh, get away. And I think it's Andrew that said, or I can't remember which one, but he's like, don't breathe his air. It really feels like that. It gives you that kind of feeling if you're not the one that covers up the way they think you. It's a virtue signaling, and that's all it is, and it's aggravating. But I'll digress from that. I'm not going to dwell on that forever. So it's been a lot of crazy, but I'm sitting here also just contemplating, because next week I'm excited. Next week I get to spend some time up with some brothers in Virginia for an advanced weekend, and get to take some of my brothers here locally with me. So I'm getting pumped for that, and kind of getting my heart ready for that weekend. And something has really struck me lately, and I know this is a big deal across the board for so many. And this reality has not been lost of how much men are needed right now. And if we look at what's happening in this world right now, if you look at some of the crap that's being kind of shoved in our faces from our government, this disgusting equality bill that's being pushed, and all these other things that have been talked about, you really think of how dire the need is for real men to really begin to step up in this world, in this country, and not just in politics, but I'm talking about just in general, because we've been taken out in so many ways, and this world is just in dire need for men, to just to step up again. So I'm thankful to be able to be a part of a weekend like this, of a movement like this, that really ministers to the hearts of men, that is all about trying to see men come alive, get their hearts back, and begin to really walk with God with more intentionality, more clarity, and begin to and truly continue to explore the deep places of their hearts, to become the men that God's calling them to become. And that's an adventure that I continue to be on in my own personal journey of continuing to discover the more that God is after, because it's all about continuing to explore that. There's always more in the kingdom. There's always more with God. So I never want to lose sight of that. So yeah, I'm getting really excited for that. And and I don't know. It's been kind of a weird thing that's happened lately, because I've had a fellowship of men that I'd walked with that I've been walking with for a while, and my heart in all of that is to see just men continue to move closer and closer in a deeper relationship with God, and just to build stronger and stronger community. That's always been my heart behind it all. I don't, it I always find myself feeling a little awkward when I'm trying to lead a group, a small group, if you will, because I don't always know what to say. Yeah, when I'm diving into a specific study, that's one thing. But I've been in this place where we've just been kind of really unpacking what's going on. What's the narrative right now? Where is God working right now? What is God up to? What is He wanting to speak, and what are we wanting to share right now? And it's been interesting and a good thing to really dive into with the brothers that I have been a part of, that have been a part of my network and my community. And I just hope and pray that it continues to build greater intimacy there, and we get to see men continue to flourish in that sense. So yeah, that's it's a lot of where I'm at right now. I'm kind of thinking about. I know I'm kind of running all over the camp. It started with the virus and mask wearing and all that. Now I'm talking about the hearts of men getting their hearts back. So I know I didn't really come scripted today, but I really just wanted to come share some of my heart and what's going on, some of the things that I'm really kind of processing through right now. So it's good. There's a lot of cool things, and I'm just going to begin to share that of what's coming down into the future, that God's up to some really good things around here, what we're doing in this community. I'm looking forward to planning our next Anvil weekend this fall. So stay tuned. I'll share more dates on that as we get closer. And there's just a lot going on, and into the summer. Early August. I'm really excited to be able to partner with our friends at Zoe as we do a gathering down here in Georgia, and just to bring men together and really go after helping men, guiding men into building redemptive communities and fellowships around them. I know so many men that have wondered if is there a group of men around me. I don't know any groups. I'm not sure where to begin. But the challenge in that is also, well, what's wrong with you maybe starting a group yourself? Maybe God's wanting you to lead that effort. And I know that's something that's hugely important for so many. And as the diesel truck goes by, so I'm excited, and I'll share more about that as we begin to put those plans in place, and get the dates finalized and what that's going to mean, and because I just look forward to hopefully just bringing as many men as we can into that day, into that event, and then driving men to join us at the Anvil this fall to really dive into encountering God more. So. Yeah, he's up to some really cool things, and I look forward to what he's up to, and yeah, it's there's not much else I have right now, friends. I'm just again, I'm thankful to be back here, thankful to just be able to make the time to talk with you again and share my heart, and I look forward to really being more intentional of carving the time out to share more, as I love doing this, and I don't care how many people listen, how many people watch, or whatever, but it's just something that I hope my whole prayer and all of that in all of this, that it helps someone in some way, that someone's heart is able to be impacted, that it stirs something within you. So there'll be more coming, definitely more coming. But until then, friends, thank you for joining me this week, and I'm glad to be back. So look forward to seeing y'all next time on the next Firepit Conversation, friends. Take care, and again, God bless.